eventually I will become like you.
So you're that way in your community. Why? Why aren't you that way here, though? Is it because you're scared that, like, people on this YouTube community won't
Hypocrisy on display.
Oh, here comes Ray.
I can't.
Here comes Ray, one of our stupidest Christians that ever lived. This guy's some kind of Southern Baptist, I think. He's drank all the Kool-Aid. No, that is not Sebastian.
Educated guesses.
Huh?
Educated guesses.
No, that's somebody you might not want to tangle with, right? I'm trying to help you here, kid. It's like something you don't want to do. Let you know what you're doing. But you don't ever know what you're doing, right? That's one thing I know about you. Sometimes you're funny, you know. But you're basically just an antagonist. But you're not a real person, right?
Nothing new under the sun, so like I read is that there's like the top 3 devices that have never failed for evil spirits to use against people that have a crown in heaven.
Well, if you don't believe in denominations, Ray, how did I know you were a Baptist?
The biggest tools is fear.
How did I make that connection?
Fear, greed, and lust. Some fashion, those 3.
How did it show forth to me that you were Baptist? All right. How did you know how did I know you were a Baptist, Ray? You've never said you were, ever, as far as I know. But you have an attitude of a Baptist. Now, it doesn't have anything to do with your accent, dude. You could have been one of them snake charmers. Yeah? You could have been, what do they call those people? Revivalist? You could have been a revivalist, Ray.
Fear, greed, and lust. Being at the 3 that you have to connect the most, those are the 3 that you mess with the most. It's your mind, heart, spirit. Lust and greed revolve their mind and heart.
You could have been a Amish, Ray, or a Mormon, for all I know. No, Ray, I'll tell you how I figured out what you were. I watched the movie called Waterboy. Okay? Bobby Boucher. Remember him? Every time I watch that movie, Ray, I think about you. Yeah?
Mama said, Mama said.
Mama said. Mama said. Those girls are evil. Yeah, they are evil, as a matter of fact.
See you now. My mom, when I was young, y'all want to talk about abuse. My mom used to use my head as an ashtray.
I'm giving my most avid restreamers something to restream for the next 3 days. So they have some content.
They milked that last one after 3 days.
Yeah, 3 days. No, well, at least 3 streams. 3 streams in a row, just restreaming me. A lot of content there, son.
The same street. Wasn't even like they went through all that extras. They restreamed the same one 3 times in a row. Sheer stupidity at this point. Why are 100 of you watching that garbage?
You're pretty much out of content if you have to restream me for 3 streams in a row, dude.
Pretty much have no life if you watch it all 3 times.
Yeah, you need to give it up. You need to retire. Man. Just have fun.
Using that box material. Yeah, it didn't work too well for her, so it's not going to work well for you, douchebag. No bets, man. Yeah, I mean, I do got to be the bets.
Why'd I block Zig? Because he porn bombed JC. Once you porn bomb somebody, I know you're a porn bomber, you'll never be in this room ever again. That's why. That's why. You gotta go.
Let's say that you didn't do it, but your buddy did. How does that make you any different? Means you're the same type of garbage person.
I don't want porn bombers around me. I don't like people who try to fuck up people's streams and give them strikes. I don't like them. That just shows some kind of jealousy and enviousness of people who pay fucking money to do this for whatever reason they're doing it. I don't care. I don't go watch any of Ziggy's shit. I don't give a shit about Ziggy. Ziggy's a satanic piece of crap, actually. And he's always up to no good, so there's no way I'd ever trust that guy with anything.
He's one of those that would trample on your prayers. If you try to give him something, he would trample.
They're very immature people, and I just don't want to know. I'm not into what they're into. I did that years ago. I did all that tomfoolery in YouTube years ago. I kind of grew up in YouTube.
That was actually a funny joke on Ray Bear's Robert Deliverance.
I don't care
It
what.
actually relates to the subject matter at the same time. And it's the burden. Guess what?
I don't care what house they go to. I really don't.
Ziggy, with him, he doesn't really know. He eats the cookies. Why would you even want to talk to people? Ziggy better eat it.
Yeah, I don't want to be involved with those people at all. Not into it.
It almost seems like, you say that person likes this, but that's also a person that seems to want to drag us or hang around people that want to drag us in some kind of fashion.
I don't care if Ziggy likes me. I don't care if Ziggy likes me.
People are sick.
See, that's what Ziggy doesn't seem to understand. I do not care. I don't dislike Ziggy. It's just I'm not his kind of people. And I don't believe he likes me at all. I think he's trying to get a foot in my door to somehow fuck me over again. So I'm not into that kind of shit. I've been here too long for that kind of crap. Now, there's always an ulterior motive to anything anybody does in here. And I can almost predict it. Lots of times I can set it up myself if I want to. But I don't need to prove anything about Ziggy. I could probably within 2 days. I can prove.
That's the worst part of it, though, because I don't have any motive.
I don't have a motive in here either, except that.
Well,
Huh?
you got more planned out that you always gotta like run by me. And I'm like, I can tell you.
Well,
I have nothing going on like that whatsoever.
I only try to maintain the balance here. That's all I try to do. I try to keep it good for everybody, but there's people in here who are not into that. And they want to ruin it for everybody.
Hang around, joke around, enjoy someone's company, and tell somebody you're trying to get in there and do something sadistic or sexy to someone.
We got a couple people in here who are actively trying to fuck everything up for everybody.
As somewhat of a decent person with some moral value there, you want to call out someone evil that way and be like, well, no.
Well, the entertainment in here is lacking these days. There really isn't very much entertainment. Well, we could make it that way, but at what cost? Yeah. Yee Skirt came out today. We're all losing a lot of subs. Okay, I know why. I do know why. I'm not going to say so why. But this whole thing's getting really old. This stupid fucking shit that dumbass over there is perpetrating every day is getting really, really old.
So why y'all are reminding me? Y'all got a screw loose, man. Most of you, not all of you, but like a lot of you, got some kind of screw loose to where you go and back up the biggest piece of crap person in here just to stir some crap, and just to get something going.
That's not what that's not what the asshole is doing. He's actually trying to wear my slippers.
Not him. I'm talking about the people that watch his crap.
Well,
and help him.
A lot of people want to see if he's talking about them, but the problem I have with that is they don't do anything about it when he does. So why watch? If you're not going to push back on the motherfucker, why watch? Yeah, you want to see if somebody's talking about you, but you don't do anything about it. So what the fuck?
There's only a few people in here that actually got the brass tacks that call it out. Like at least Rob Knox has had enough brass tacks to come back and say something to somebody. That guy don't sit there and just hate you.
I never seen anybody stick up for anything right in here. They never address the real issues. They just say, "Oh, that guy's a dick." Now, why don't you point out what makes him a dick? How about that? Huh?
He wants specifics.
Yeah, specifics help. Yeah. Otherwise, it doesn't make a dent in what anybody thinks.
Come to your conclusion that this person was kind of evil. How did you come across this man? They're kind of sick, man. Like, I don't know. Like I said, a lot of it seems like people are trying to
Well, there are
get
people.
their name in lights or something. It's real stupid.
There are people that are still listening. Yes, there are. I mean, this bitch has been calling me a child molester for what, about 3 years now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's weird
And
is
she's been doing it every day, and yet everybody says, "Oh, I've never seen her do anything like that." What do you mean you've never seen her do?
it. They've seen her do it.
Yeah.
Remember their excuse.
Now I have a screenshot of Monica posting at Whippermantle. Oh, I told Billy, you never did anything to me, Whippy. I love you, Whippy. So here's, I'm pushing the clock. I'm only going to play this short segment. This is almost right in the beginning of his fucking stream that, he waits till I go off air. He won't say my name, but he's talking about me. All I can think of is watching The View and the women on there. I'm not going to say his name, but they're talking about Donald Trump. You're a lefty. You don't even vote, Wiggin. And you live off the fucking taxpayers of California. Your daughter's bought and paid for by the people of fucking California.
Oh, well, she's never done it to me. Okay.
And all they really want
It
to
hasn't happened to you.
and all they really want to do is talk about kids all the time. Why do they want to talk about the kids? Because they want to swat and dox the kids.
You think they'd be
That's
like,
not fucking obvious to you people. I don't know.
on Dahmer's side too. But, well, he didn't do it to me, you know. He's not that bad. He didn't kill my kids or relatives. Yeah, I can see these people backing that up though. Seriously, because if they thought they could get some kind of YouTube popularity. And it's stupid because this small corner of YouTube is only like a couple hundred people. What do you guys think? There's actually thousands of people in some of these rooms? No. Hundreds of people? No. There's only one person in this side of YouTube that actually gets close to upward close to 100. That's Jason. That's the only person. Lucky to get 20, man.
He'll be playing this music here in a day or two. You watch.
Strip cycle Christian music.
Huh?
Strip cycle Christian music.
Yeah, he'll be doing that soon. And you know who's putting the idiot up to it, right? That bitch is. That bitch is going through my playlist telling him what to play.
Do whatever you can to aggravate that guy.
He's not aggravating me. He just looks like a fucking asshole. Yeah.
This is what I want to address. Rusty's not putting me up to anything. She's not talking to me behind stage or anything. I've tried to call her a couple of times. Her line's busy. She don't want to talk to any of us. She's doing her thing. I'm doing my thing. I gave her my word on something. She scratched my back, so I'm going to scratch her back. She's not telling me to do jack shit, Wiggin. You're just a mouthy motherfucker. I go live all the time. You have plenty of chances, Wiggin. You wait till you know I'm in bed. I now still you didn't see me out here for fucking 8 hours at least. Turn this shit right the fuck off. Watch TV, fall asleep, vacuum, eat some shredded wheats when I get up. Yeah, I'll take my time, put some more peanuts out for the Blue Jays. They're fucking gone already. It's a nice day. Still summer out where I'm at. The fucking weather's nice. Trust me, Wiggin, Rusty could be doing a whole lot more for me than what's going on. You don't see her up on my panel. She has free reign in here. She can do whatever she wants. She can watch, lurk, use my material, whatever she wants. Because she scratched my back. Unlike you, Wiggin, you stabbed me in my back. You're a buddy fucker. You did to me exactly what you did with that guy in the band. You assumed that guy's identity. You're a fucktard. You're the problem, Wiggin. JC is the problem. There's Daughter of Truth, fuck it, trying to beef up. Only JC gets all the. No, she don't. She'll have 60 people on her meter, 5 people posting. And she'll sit there and complain about the lurkers because everybody else is making videos about us. I haven't made one fucking video of any of you people other than going live. Nice. Billy has no contact. And then you complain that I play my radio programs. That is my content. Current news, current events, live radio has been a part of my life all my life. It's been a part of people's lives since fucking radio was invented back in the early 1900s. You dumb fuckers. Fuck, the camera was invented in America. Look what the camera has led us to right here. Yeah, Kodak. New York is the hub of all inventions. New York City is the greatest city in the world. And look what you fuckers are trying to do to it. And have done to it. You get people like Al Sharpton. All right? He's the racist. Why should he get reparations? And why would he care about all the people? The 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment were reparations. It allowed slaves and Native Americans to become U.S. citizens. That's what that was for. You fuckers want to change history. Well, I ain't going to let you do it. Fuck you, Wiggin. You're a chicken shit motherfucker, Wiggin. Rusty's not calling the shots here. All she's doing is encouraging me. Keep streaming, Billy. We're not kissing each other's asses. We shook hands. We're friends. We're each doing each other a big favor. Hopefully, I'm helping her out more than she's helping me out. I'm pretty sure I have. That's right, kiddos. Whatever. No, my radio programs are going to be on. You should have been here 20 minutes ago when I started. I'm not running. I'm not going to, not for you. I'm not. Sorry, kiddos. I'm going to be listening to the news. Side chat's open. You chat all you want in the side chat. You say whatever you want in the side chat, kiddos. I don't care. If I do care, I'll probably just erase your remark. Come on, Wiggin. I'll let you post in my chat, you chicken shit motherfucker. You thought I was cloning Charlie in your chat this morning? I was sleeping. Resting well. Right full of energy right now, Wiggin. You want to see me do 30 push-ups nonstop? I hope you remove that stream, Wiggin. I got that one little part. Fucking Rusty ain't telling me to do anything. And if she does, I'll probably take her advice and do it. She's letting me restream her. She's doing her number. And if I want to play her here, too bad I did it 3 times yesterday. I played that segment 3 motherfucking times. Then you come up with your restream this. You'll be able to restream this for you'll be busy for 3 days. Alicia, you're really not very smart. You are a dumb woman. You are very dumb. My son ever brought you home, I'd fucking laugh at him.
Chris Plant here, excited to tell you that we already have over 100 listeners booked for our July 2026 Mediterranean Sea Cruise. If you haven't booked yet, what are you waiting for? Join in on the fun. Visit ChrisPlantCruise.com.
This ad is brought to you by GSK. Have you considered starting Ojjaara momelotinib for your appropriate patients? Review the efficacy of Ojjaara, including data from our head-to-head trials, Simplify-1 and Momentum, at startojjaara.com. That's startojjaara.com.
Hey guys, have you heard of Goldbelly? It's this amazing site where they ship the most iconic, famous foods from restaurants across the country, anywhere, nationwide. I've never found a more perfect gift than food. Goldbelly ships Chicago deep dish pizza, New York bagels, Maine lobster rolls, and even Ina Garden's famous cakes. So, if you're looking for a gift for the food lover in your life, head to goldbelly.com and get 20% off your first order with promo code GIFT. That's goldbelly.com, promo code GIFT.
Guinea Road, north of Braddock Road, that is jammed. Looks like we have a work zone that is set up there. 270 north of Route 80 Urbana for crash cleanup. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast. Watch out for some areas of patchy, dense fog early this morning.
I got a
And then we'll see
9
warm
by
sunshine this
13
afternoon with highs in the lower 80s.
casserole
Also
dish
becoming
out
a
there. I
little
put
humid.
peanuts in. They
We have a
cleaned that
full
motherfucker
harvest
out
moon.
already.
It'll be shining bright tonight.
Peanuts.
Tomorrow, another warm day in the lower 80s, but rain moves in Wednesday
Sitting
morning
right there
with much
staring at
cooler
me through the
weather
window.
late week. I'm 7 News meteorologist Eileen Whalen.
65 in Washington, John Matthews, WMAL News.
Here's your shot at winning $1,000. Text the national keyword GAME right now to 95819. That's GAIN to 95819. We'll text you back to confirm your entry. Data and messaging rates may apply. Please don't text and drive. It's 5K a day on WMAL. Now on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. Chris Plant.
The shutdown melodrama continues. I love the smell of melodrama in the morning. It smells like the United States Senate.
Yes. Senator John Kennedy, being humorous, as he very often is. The Democrats, the Schumer shutdown, you see, now they've decided to make it about Obamacare. I thought Obamacare was a done deal, you commie fascist Hitlerites, you lunatics. Stop shooting people. You see, another Democrat showed up at the Cathedral of St. Matthew's, the Catholic Cathedral in Washington, D.C., yesterday for the annual Red Mass, which is a tradition that's been going on since like the year 1283 or something in England and Europe, obviously not here, since we hadn't discovered America yet. That's right, we discovered America. It was discovered by Christopher Columbus, who the Democrats would crucify today. Well, they'd crucify Jesus today, too, wouldn't they? The Democrat Party. Loony bin, yeah, and another Molotov cocktail. The Democrat Party, they're really big on Molotov cocktails, aren't they? They love firebombing things, and they hate the Jewish people and the Catholic people and the American people and
Kind of like
people.
log liquor
They're really not on the side of civilization. They're the left.
in Vegas chat this
Remarkable
morning.
stuff. And we did open with Senator John Kennedy. They're always fun, always entertaining. And
Callahan is
pretty much
Catholic.
always right. But he was out there, and there's plenty to talk about the government shutdown. Michael Piercy noticed that the traffic today was not as light as it was last week. And then I, driving in, noticed the same thing. I don't know what's going on with that. Probably part of a nefarious plan of theirs. They've got all kinds of nefarious plans, don't you know? Yes, they do. The left is crazy. The left is violent. They're anti-law enforcement. There's an insurrection going on being led by Democrat governors like Gavin Newsom and J.B. Pritzker, and got these mental dwarves in Portland, Oregon, and the mayor of the city council, the whole gang, the governor. They have a governor there, too. Amazing stuff. The state of Washington, the state of Illinois. The Democrat Party should reform their Confederate States of America, because it might be best. It might be best for just speed things along. So we've got that going. But in Virginia, Virginia, very nearby Virginia, I'm in Washington, D.C., our nation's capital. It's not a large area, and it might take several drives of a golf ball to make it to Virginia from where we sit right now, but not a whole lot more than that. And we've got the governor there, Glenn Youngkin, talking about the Democrat Party's attorney general candidate, whose name is Jay Jones. And the governor, the Republican governor, said that the Democrat nominee, Jay Jones, should step away in disgrace after it was discovered that he was texting about murdering the Republican, shooting him in the head twice, letting Pol Pot. Who else did he want to let live? He wanted to let everybody. Oh, the Hitler and Pol Pot. He'd let them live, but he would shoot the Republican Speaker of the House in the head twice if he only had 2 bullets and there were 3 people there, Pol Pot, Adolf Hitler, and of course the Republican Speaker of the House. He would shoot the Republican Speaker of the House in the head twice and let Adolf Hitler live, and he'd let Pol Pot live. And then he said that he wanted to murder his children because he wanted his children to die in their mother's arms. And then he said, I'm going to be indelicate here, and I want to apologize up front. You know what, I'll be polite for now, and then when I read him his quotes directly, then I'll use the actual blunt force language. He said he would then go and urinate on their graves because he's a sadist, a psychopath, and he's the Democrat Party's candidate to become the #1 law enforcement official in the Commonwealth of Virginia. You know, home of George Mason and Thomas Jefferson. And pay no attention. The Democrat Party is a firebombing gang of slave running, Jim Crow law passing. They're violent. They're violent in Chicago over the weekend. They're violent in Portland over the weekend. They're fighting against the federal government like the insurrectionists that they are. It's time that these politicians started facing arrest, and they should be cuffed face down and then dragged away by their ankles. You know, face down, hopefully down staircases and things like that. Now, I'm not saying that I'd shoot them in the head twice and then urinate on their graves like the Democrat running for the Attorney General slot in Virginia, Jay Jones, and Democrats will vote for him. Now, I'm not going to come in here and say 2 bullets to the head for Jay Jones, although that's the rhetoric that Jay Jones is using. The Democrat Party ought to be gassed. I'm just kidding. They're not necessarily gassed, but they should be canceled. They should go the way of the Bull Moose Party. They really should. The Know Nothing Party, or they should just be relabeled as the Know Nothing Party. They know lust for blood and for violence, though. They're completely crazy, and they go around calling everybody fascists, which is, you know, once again, as I've been pointing out for years, no sense of irony. These people, absolutely no sense of irony. But the Democrat running for Attorney General in Virginia, getting a lot of attention, as he should, and maybe there should be a pre-dawn FBI raid with a network camera crew across the street in tow, battering rams, shoot the dog, the whole thing. Or don't really shoot the dog. That's just silly. Why would you shoot the dog? It's a tradition at this point, isn't it? So we've got that. Yeah, Jay Jones, Democrat of Virginia, just amazing. You know, it's good to be a Democrat because the news media is not even covering it. The Washington Post isn't covering it. CBS News is not covering it. Even the local news isn't covering it. It's really remarkable stuff. Virginia Democrat AG Attorney General nominee once sent text messages about killing a former GOP colleague. You know, the Grand Old Party. And the Democrat Party, see, where the Grand Old Party came along, really took off when we elected Abraham Lincoln, largely to abolish slavery. And then the Democrats murdered, how many? About 1.5 million people. And then they murdered Abraham Lincoln because they loved their slaves so much. And now they love cheap labor so much in the form of illegal aliens that, honestly, crazy. And who do we had? We had that one former Republican he's out there talking about civil war. He's saying it thinks that it may be, what did he say? It may be inevitable. I've got him coming up too. Adam Kinzinger said that civil war may be inevitable. Isn't it amazing? And Democrats and their transgender children. How did they have children in the first place? But it turns out there are a whole lot of, I'm not going to use the word famous. There are a whole bunch of Democrats, a lot of Hollywood people like Robert De Niro and people like that. And they've all got tranny psycho kids. It's what the Democrats are doing to the country. And Greta von Thunberg, she's a lot of fun. Greta Thunberg, she's a celebrity activist because the left made the teenage idiot a celebrity activist. Greta Thunberg being held in a jail cell in Israel, which she's complaining is bed bug infested. Really? Let's throw her down in one of the tunnels in Gaza and have them keep her. You think bed bugs are bad? Just what do they see we got coming here? And she's complaining that she's being forced to sit for long periods on hard surfaces. And what she means by that is hard surfaces that are not on yachts. not on yachts or on Gulfstream jets, on private jets. Isn't that amazing? Also, you know how the Democrats, they hate the Jews. They're and then they call everybody fascists and Nazis. A visiting professor at the Harvard University. You know, last week we had Harvard University with the transgender freak show professor who's teaching gender studies. And what was his name, Michael? Lohor Vagistan. Lohor Vagistan is his name. And he's not a she, but he dresses like a she, kind of like the guy that the Democrats under Joe Biden put in charge of nuclear materials at the Department of Energy, the cross-dresser who was stealing everybody's luggage so he could dress in women's clothes that he stole from airport carousels. And that was just fine. That's not even a news story. Democrats are like, well, you know, some people steal luggage while they're dressed in their grandmother's clothing. Isn't that amazing? But the Democrat Party, here's now the professor at Harvard. They're calling him a visiting professor because wouldn't want to say he was a full-time professor like Elizabeth Warren, you know, who is not a member of any Native American tribe, but claimed to be for decades. And they kept promoting her and trotting her out at parties and saying, hey, look, we've got Chief Wu over here. And woo, 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 the Democrat Party. Aren't they amazing? Hi, how are you? Hi, how are you? Hi, how are you? But now they have a visiting professor placed on leave after the visiting professor was arrested for firing a pellet gun at a synagogue. All he had was a pellet gun, so he fired the pellet gun at the synagogue. If he had only had an explosive device, like the Democrat at St. Matthew's Cathedral Catholic Church in Washington, it's the Catholic Church where John F. Kennedy's funeral was, and where little John Kennedy was standing out front saluting in the day of his father's funeral when he was, 3 years old or something. And it's that church. And yesterday, a Democrat set up camp on the steps of St. Matthew's Church because there's an annual mass for the Supreme Court. And a Democrat showed up like a homeless lunatic, drove down from New Jersey. He's not a homeless lunatic, but he just set up a tent on the steps. And he had a Molotov cocktail and other devices designed for violence because the Democrat Party is designed for violence ever since the KKK and Jim Crow and Jefferson Davis and the Confederate States of America. The Democrat Party is a terrorist organization, the Students for a Democratic Society and the Weather Underground and the Symbionese Liberation Army, and the list goes on and on of all the terrorist groups that the Democrat Party's in bed with and has long been in bed with. But now a professor at Harvard Law School was placed on administrative leave because they're investigating his firing a pellet gun at a synagogue on the eve of Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur, very sacred Jewish holiday. Carlos Portugal Gouveia. He's Carlos Portugal Gouveia. Is he an illegal alien too? Because, you know, they give jobs to illegal aliens at Harvard University too. But nobody mentions whether he's an illegal sneaked into the country to get a job at Harvard. And he could pretend that he's a member of the Cherokee tribe. But Carlos Portugal Gouveia arrested on Wednesday after he allegedly fired 2 shots at Temple Beth Zion in Brookline, Mass, according to reports from local outlet Brookline News. Gouveia was charged with disorderly conduct, disturbing the peace, vandalizing property. And at the Harvard Crimson, they say that he's arrested for firing the shots outside of the temple. But wait a minute, vandalizing property, I think that means he fired at and hit the property and windows, things like that. But, you know, another Democrat lunatic, because they're everywhere. And again, since we're talking about the Democrats, man arrested and charged with possessing explosives ahead of church service, marking the start of the Supreme Court term. That's one of the headlines. And this happened yesterday, again, at St. Matthew's, a major and very significant, very important Catholic church in Washington, D.C. Police arrested and charged a man with possession of explosives Sunday outside of a Washington, D.C. church, where an annual mass to mark the start of the Supreme Court term was set to take place hours later. The so-called Red Mass, again, goes back to England centuries ago, being held here for almost 80 years, I believe. The so-called Red Mass is held each year to invoke God's blessing on those responsible for the administration of justice, according to St. Matthew's Cathedral, and to the British Crown, going back to 1200 something. Western civilization is great. The left is a death cult, started really in 1917. You could go back to the Communist Manifesto and all that. In fact, we had, didn't we have the Chicago Teachers Union last week was praising a cop killer fugitive that joined Chesimard, who goes by her Mau Mau name, until she died in communist Cuba. And, just amazing stuff. The Democrat Party. So another lunatic at St. Matthew's Cathedral, because the Supreme Court, that no Supreme Court justices were in attendance. Several had planned to attend. And then they got word that there was a Democrat terrorist there. And Brett Kavanaugh knows a thing or two about that. In fact, the Democrats gave a light sentence to their now cross-dressing, he goes by Sophia now, because he figured he'd make out better in prison if he told all the men in prison that his real name is Sophia. So we got that going on. The Democrat Party. Yeah, Louis Jerry, a 41-year-old from Vineland, New Jersey. Unlawful entry, threats to kidnap or injure, that is murder, and possession of a Molotov cocktail, just scratching the surface. That's just yesterday. The Democrat Party is a violent organization. At what point do we declare them to be a terrorist organization? We're at 888-630-9625. I'm only scratching the surface on the crazy that the Democrats have given us this weekend.
There's only one Chris Plant. The Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news.
WMAL traffic from the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center. Crash cleanup continues on the Virginia Beltway, but much improved. It's a single right lane that's blocked, outer loop south of 66. Watch for delays coming out of Tyson's, and eastbound 66 punched up before Nutley Street. 270 northbound, crash is cleared north of Route 80 Urbana, so watch for residual delays. And on 15, that is jammed each direction for the crash north of Point of Rocks Road. Follow police direction through there. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
Sunny and pleasant today. High 82. Clear skies overnight. Low 60.
But I don't want to get a flu shot.
You don't want to get the flu again. It's just a teensy little poke. Hi guys, I know you don't like needles, so I brought Fuzzy.
What is that?
It's a device that uses vibration and ice to help take the sting out of shots. See, hun, that wasn't so bad.
Wait, you did it already?
Yep, Fuzzy helps. And Kinney is the only pharmacy that has him.
I'm going to tell everyone I know.
Great. They can schedule online at KinneyDrugs.com.
Have you discussed treatment options with your patients? Talk to them about Dovato, dolutegravir, and lamivudine. Visit the refreshed DovatoHCP.com to learn more today and to access full prescribing information, including boxed warning. This ad is for U.S. healthcare professionals and brought to you by ViiV Healthcare.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now upgrade to a Tempur-Pedic and get a $300 instant gift, plus next-day delivery. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. Next-day delivery available on select mattresses and subject to location. See store for details.
Most people would rather remove a nest of irate hornets than search for auto and home insurance. That's why the Zebra searches for you, comparing over 100 insurance companies to find savings no one else can. Compare today at thezebra.com. I think I'll wait inside.
Trust the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts to recommend the products for your next oil change. Right now, get 5 quarts of Valvoline full synthetic motor oil and a Wix filter for $35.99. Plus, get a $15 gift card after rebate. Limit supply. See your O'Reilly Auto Parts store for details or shop O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Ever wish buying a home was as easy as clicking your heels 3 times? At Northern Credit Union, we know there's no place like home. We offer first-time buyer programs with no closing costs, VA, USDA, seasonal, new construction, and many other loan options. If you're dreaming of home ownership, Northern will help you get into your new home in 3 clicks of your heels. Getting approved is quick and easy, and with our meet or beat rate guarantee, you know you're getting the lowest rate possible. Our team is here to help you along the yellow brick road to home ownership with honest advice, personalized service, and support every step of the way. Click your heels or just call or text, because at Northern, there's no place like home. Northern Credit Union, mortgage magic in the real world. Call or text 315-782-0155 or apply online at mynorthern.com. Federally insured, NCUA, equal housing opportunity.
But I don't want to get a flu shot.
You don't want to get the flu again. It's just a teensy little poke. Hi guys, I know you don't like needles, so I brought Fuzzy.
What is that?
It's a device that uses vibration and ice to help take the sting out of shots.
See, hun, that wasn't so bad.
Wait, you did it already?
Yep, Fuzzy helps. And Kinney is the only pharmacy that has him.
I'm going to tell everyone I know.
Great. They can schedule online at kinneydrugs.com.
Buckle up for big wins at Mohawk Casino now through October 25th. Earn entries now to win your share of $65,000 in prizes. Score up to $1,000 slot play, cash up to $5,000, or cruise away in a brand new 2026 GMC Terrain Denali all-wheel drive. Join us Saturday, October 25th from 6 to 10 p.m. for the grand prize drawings. Plus, rev up your chances with 25 times entries every Tuesday. Drive in, win big. Only at Akwesasne Mohawk Casino Resort, your everyday escape.
Sine of 20 equals X.
Meet Brandon, Albany resident, 10th grade math teacher, an MVP member who's been thriving with diabetes since 2019.
Does anyone have any questions about
However your light shines, shine on with MVP Healthcare.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Your next $1,000 could be one text away. It's $5K a day on WMAL.
All right, let's go to the telephones. Government shutdown, and Virginia Savage J. Jones could probably be arrested coming up. Let's, in the meantime, go to Radu. Let's go to our friend Radu, calling from Potomac, Maryland. Radu, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
I just made a bowl of
Hey, Chris, how are
popcorn.
you?
I'm great, buddy. What do you say?
I wanted to talk to you a little bit about this, whatever that's called, that stupid brown bunny or black bunny or bad bunny or whatever his name is, that idiotic creature. I used to love sports. I played, I watched the NFL all the time, diehard fan. I stopped watching it about 7 years ago because my son is a Marine, and when they started taking the knee, as far as I'm concerned, they insulted my son and the military and the police and the national anthem and the flag. So I completely stopped watching. About 5 years ago, about 2 years ago, I started watching again because I'm a big Redskins fan, and they're playing better now. So let me put it this way. If the Redskins make the playoffs, I'll watch the Super Bowl, not watch the halftime. If they don't make the Super Bowl, I'm not going to watch, period. And I'm sure you've heard this moron was on SNL saying that, well, if you don't speak English, you guys have 4 months to learn English. Why in the world would I want to learn Spanish? Right. And remember, we had a jackass called Obama who came up and said, well, don't worry about them learning English. You should learn Spanish. Am I supposed to learn Spanish and maybe Japanese, maybe Chinese, Mandarin, some Italian, some French and German? No, this is America. How about you learning English?
I put those two sound bites together myself for Radu yesterday when I saw this happening, and Michael Piercy and I talked about it this morning, and we put those two sound bites together as well. And it's true. Bad Bunny says, learn to speak Spanish if you want to watch my halftime show. Seems like quite a commitment to watch a halftime show. And then it did bring us back to Barack Hussein Obama, who told us all that we better learn how to speak Spanish because part of the fundamental transformation of America.
Instead of worrying about whether immigrants can learn English, they'll learn English. You need to make sure your child can speak Spanish.
Because the Democrats are bringing back slavery, and they love slavery. Barack Obama loves slavery, illegal alien, cheap labor. But you don't have to house them or feed them or anything. Free healthcare, though.
This is the Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
WMAL traffic from the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center. Crash cleanup continues on the Virginia Beltway, but much better. A single right lane is blocked. Outer Loop south of 66 as you head into Merrifield. Delays still backing near 123 at Tyson's. And it's also jammed 66 eastbound back near 123. 15 commuters north of Point of Rocks Bridge and north of Point of Rocks Road. Traffic was alternating past that crash and just at a crawl through there. If you can't avoid until they clear that, save yourself some time. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwipe 7 forecast.
Sunny and pleasant today, high 82. Clear skies overnight, low 60.
Now, see, I could be wrong. All right. But I have a feeling that the handle sus AF, suspect as fuck. Okay. That's Vader copying what JT does, because JT's the one that calls people, you're sus. And Vader uses Wiggins material. They made that avatar of me eating a banana. Vader uses that. You're not fooling anybody, Vader. You're not even a novice at this. Despite the fact that some of you have been in YouTube a whole lot longer than I have, I was way more advanced. I was around when this technology was talked about going out to the public. So you guys don't have any human experience. Everything you know is from behind a keyboard. You don't have any actual fucking practical application of life's ways and means. Wiggin don't ever go live when I'm live. He won't confront. We need a level playing field. He only wants me to go up on his panel so he can mute my mic. Kind of reminiscent of what happened at JC's every time I go to JC's, isn't it? Your daughter of truth, how come you don't get on JC about ODV being on that panel? He's a pedophile, right? How about it, JC? I thought ODV was a pedophile. Or that's what you guys want me to believe. Of all the things that guy is, I don't think he's a child molester. They can actually be prevented from going on social media. That's a fact.
It's only more in your pocket, so you can put more into your business. It's only everything. Visit spectrum.com/business to learn how you can get 4 months free when you bundle. Restrictions apply. Services not available in all areas.
It's sunshine savings at Widget Auto Sales and used car leader.
Hey, Wiggin.
Late model vehicles with low miles.
I want you to tell me.
A loaded 2016 Lincoln MKX, only $15,999, or a 2020 Acura TLX.
What content of yours do I use? How do I use you for content? Responding to what you do with me is not using you for content.
Online at widgetautosales.com. The used car leader.
Ever feel like your car is trying to tell you something?
Take me in. I'm tired. I want a new home.
Well, guess what? Bob Johnson Ford of Pulaski is listening. We want your car, and we'll pay you top dollar for it. That's right. Whether it's a clunker or a classic, bring it to Bob Johnson.
Wigan will wait until midnight again tonight, his time, before he goes live.
Live its best life. Visit BobJohnsonFord.com and make your car's dreams come true. Please toll for
He's gone live when I'm live this time in the morning to try to fuck me up. I said, I don't give a fuck.
Your money and your retirement. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
JC's scared to dual stream with me. She doesn't dare. She doesn't dare. Because she knows the truth is on my side.
Shot and killed Abraham Lincoln, and then President Garfield and President
JC can't rebut anything I say.
They shot and they wounded President Reagan, and they shot and wounded President Trump. A communist shot and killed John F. Kennedy, the only Democrat ever to have been shot. Teddy Roosevelt was shot and wounded as well. And Democrat Party is the party of terrorist groups and kidnappings and cop killers, and they're praising a cop killer just last week, Assata Shakur, a terrorist, racist, radical who escaped from prison after being sentenced for murdering a New Jersey state trooper. And the Chicago Teachers Union was praising Assata Shakur last week in tweets, ending their tweet with you have nothing to lose but your chains. You know, Karl Marx from the Communist Manifesto. The left is here, and they're here to destroy the world. Western civilization is very, very much under assault. And it was funnier when it was just Italy and lefties in France and beep holes in Africa. But now the Democrat Party is a threat to civilization itself. Now, let me go to this Democrat in Virginia. He's the Democrat Party's nominee to become the Attorney General of the Commonwealth of Virginia. And the Attorney General is, of course, the top law enforcement officer in the state. And now the governor of Virginia, a Republican and a good man, Glenn Youngkin, is calling on the Democrat Party's nominee, Jay Jones, to step away, like George. Step away, George. That's step off, George. Step away in disgrace. Now, Glenn Youngkin, the governor of the state of Virginia, says Democrat, this is the headline at Fox News, says Democrat AG candidate Jay Jones must step away in disgrace over texts about former GOP leader. Jay Jones apologizes for texts about former Virginia House Speaker Todd Gilbert, who said, Jay, the Democrat, said he wanted to murder him and shoot him in the head twice. Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin said that state Democratic Attorney General candidate Jay Jones should abandon his campaign in disgrace. No Democrat has spoken out against him, no elected Democrat anywhere that I'm aware of, after he once remarked about shooting a former Republican Virginia House Speaker in texts. Actually, about to shoot him in the head, I believe, in text with another lawmaker. They're Democrats. They're doing funny stuff about murdering because nobody murders like the left. Texts obtained by Fox News Digital on Friday showed an August 2022 conversation involving Jay Jones, who wants to be the Attorney General in Virginia, then a recently departed delegate from Norfolk, and Delegate Kerry Coyner, C-O-Y-N-E-R, Coyner, a Republican from Chester. At one point, Jones referenced then House Speaker Todd Gilbert, a Republican from Shenandoah, and he wrote, listen to what the Democrat wrote. You may have heard it by now, but let's take a look at this. He wrote, here's what the Democrat who wants to be Attorney General tweeted: 3 people, 2 bullets, period. Gilbert, Hitler, and Pol Pot. Gilbert gets 2 bullets to the head. See, he wouldn't kill Pol Pot, who murdered millions of people in Cambodia. He wouldn't murder Adolf Hitler, who murdered millions and millions of people in Europe. But he would murder the Republican speaker. from Shenandoah, very beautiful area, Shenandoah. And the Democrat is hell-bent on murder. Just amazing. Now, Gilbert gets 2 bullets to the head. And then, listen to this. He says, and then he hoped his children would die. Okay? There's honestly, the Democrat Party is a threat to civilization itself because they're not democratic, as I like to say. Friendly fire isn't, social media isn't, common courtesy isn't, and the Democratic Party isn't democratic. Texts obtained by Fox News Digital on Friday showed an August 2022 conversation involving Jones, and this is pretty amazing stuff. The governor is having none of it because he's on the side of civilization. He's a normal person when the guy who wants to be chief law enforcement of your state says that the chief Republican speaker in the state house gets 2 bullets to the head, and I hope his children would die. That's good stuff. Just amazing. There's no gosh, I'm sorry here. Jones doesn't have the morality or character to drop out of this race. And his running mate, Abigail Spanberger, and who's this, Ghazla Hashmi, and every elected Democrat in Virginia don't have the courage to call on him to step away from this campaign in disgrace. And he should. And that is what the governor there said. A spokesman for Coiner's campaign confirmed the veracity of the texts first reported by National Review magazine, saying they were disturbing and disqualifying for anyone who wants to seek public office, especially the chief law enforcement officer. Jay Jones wished violence on the children of a colleague and joked about shooting Todd Gilbert. It's disgusting and unbecoming any public official, said a spokesperson for the Republican governor, Glenn Youngkin. Isn't that amazing? Jones is running against the incumbent, who is Virginia Attorney General Jason Miyares, a Republican. And he's great. Cuban-American family, fled communism, and found the Democrat Party. Now, the Republican Attorneys General Association also called on Jones to immediately withdraw from the race following his abhorrent text messages. Isn't that amazing? All right, now we have audio. Let's go to audio of the Attorney General, because Glenn Youngkin yesterday was on the television somewhere. I apologize. It wasn't yesterday. It was this morning. He was on the Fox News channel early this morning, and we gathered it for you so you don't have to watch TV news all the time like we do. Governor Glenn Youngkin this morning.
I thought this was a joke because no one could write this. I mean, no, this is demented. And here we have the Democrat candidate running for Attorney General, the top cop in Virginia, wishing not only that he had 2 bullets to put in a guy's head, but then he wishes death on his children. And Todd Gilbert has small kids. And for Jay Jones to wish death on his small children is beyond belief.
It is a little bit beyond belief, but this is the Democrat Party today. They're the breakaway republic of the Democrat Party. They're the Confederate States of America all over again. Glenn Youngkin was having none of it.
But that is where the violent left of the Democrat Party is. This is where these folks are. You know, we had Charlie Kirk assassinated, and so many folks celebrated in the far left. We've had 2 Democrats threaten to murder 2 of our delegates running for office in Virginia. And now Jay Jones comes out and says that he has 2 bullets for Todd Gilbert's head and wants to see his children die. I mean, this is unbelievable.
Membership in the Democrat Party is indicative of mental illness. It genuinely is at this point. Now, again, he's texting back and forth. He's Jay Jones. He's got his JJ on his identifier here. And he's talking about the Republican Speaker of the House in Virginia. He's talking about his wife and their children, and he wants their children dead too. He wrote, Jay, send them out a wash in something. And a nice person responding says, Jay Jones, 3 people, 2 bullets, Gilbert, Hitler, and Pol Pot. Again, Adolf Hitler, we all know. Pol Pot, the Khmer Rouge, the Red regime in Cambodia murdered millions of their own people, which is what communists do. And then he said, Jay Jones said, Gilbert, and again, 3 people, 2 bullets, Gilbert, Hitler, and Pol Pot. Gilbert gets 2 bullets to the head. Spoiler, colon, he loves his colon. Put Gilbert in the crew with the 2 worst people you know, and he receives both bullets every time. And responding, you weren't trying to understand. You were talking about hoping Jennifer Gilbert's children would die. He said, yes, I've told you this before. Only when people feel pain personally do they move on policy. This is how the left gets you to change your position on policy. They murder you and murder your children. It's hard to change your policy positions after you've been shot twice in the head. But this is the left. These aren't liberals. Man. And then responding, the person that he's responding to casually, I said back to him, I point blank asked you more than 3 times, and you dug in that you meant it. I honestly am questioning a lot today. And then the Democrat who wants to be chief law enforcement ever said, I mean, do I think Todd and Jennifer are evil and that they're breeding little fascists? Yes, the little fascists are the Democrat Party, and they love calling everybody what they are. It's the old Russian playbook, as we've explained before. Isn't that amazing? Yes, sir. Eric Erickson on the Twitter saying, a politician, and this is another little detail about this guy. A politician got arrested, Jay Jones, Democrat. A politician got arrested for doing 116 miles per hour in a 45 zone. Listen to this now. He was sentenced to 1,000 hours of community service in lieu of prison. He devoted 500 of those hours to his own political campaign, obfuscating to the court about how he did his community service. See, because you got 1,000 hours community. Oh, I'm dedicating my time to public service by working for a political campaign. It's his own political campaign. He should go to the penitentiary for lying to the court about his community service. He also not only texted a colleague about murdering other politicians, but when the recipient of the text messages objected,
turn the channel.
Argue the point, insisting his opponents are worthy of assassination.
Turn the fucking channel. Don't log in. Nobody
Jones,
forced you to come here.
Virginia.
You have to log in to come here. It's not like it just comes up on your screen.
With Manu Raju on CNN and others shoving.
You're fucking useless.
In the face of the congressman on Capitol Hill demanding to know if they condemn him. Sure, the news media will instead.
Fucking be useful to somebody.
And
holy fuck.
Story. So local that even the major press outlets
don't log in.
Will try to avoid it. Now,
it's fucking simple.
This morning on the Fox News channel in the 8 a.m. hour.
Winsome Sears immediately came out and condemned this, and Abigail Spanberger gave the normal, oh, it was wrong, and then's back out campaigning with all other Democrats calling for this guy to win. This is nuts, and this is why the Democrat Party has lost touch with where America is today, when they can support someone who wants to put 2 bullets in somebody's head who's a political arrival and see his children die.
And see his children die, because you got to kill the children, because that's the only way they'll change their mind on policy, is if we start killing them and their children. The Democrat Party, Governor Glenn Youngkin.
The only satisfactory answer here is to step out of this race in disgrace. And gosh, I'm sorry is nowhere near sufficient. The Democrats have to come together and figure out where their moral compass is, because they don't have one right now, where they can allow someone to stay on the ticket who has said these these demented things about a political rival who wants children to
Demented.
die. And I can't believe Virginians for a second will allow this to happen.
Well, you know, the Democrat Party has gotten pretty...
Rusty is right. Wiggin is demented. He has dementia.
Calling from Marshall, Virginia. Christopher, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Good morning, sir. It's been way too long. I miss talking to you. Here's the thing. Jay, what's his name, Jones, he had a very, very active social media presence up until 4 days ago, where he has gone radio silent. His sycophants are defending his comment because that one line about 2 bullets was lifted from an old an episode of The Office. However, I can't find the episode where they talk about anticipating urinating on the graves and having their children die. I guarantee you, I bet $50 that there are myriad more texts and probably audio recordings of good old Jay, and they are circling the wagons and they're sucking their teeth and they're saying, I don't know, Jay, it ain't looking good.
Well, I don't know if, I got to tell you, Chris, they're going to wait for the polls. They're going to look at the polls. This is what Democrats do. They don't care about this at all. I mean, the senior leadership, Nancy Pelosi, doesn't care about it. Who the hell's the chair of the Democratic National Committee now? Some irrelevant gas bag. And where are these voices? Where's Barack Obama? Where's Hussein? Let's ask Hussein what he thinks about murdering the children. I guess we already know what he thinks about that. I remember he voted present when he was in the State House in Illinois on a bill that would have been killing babies after they survived an abortion. So I guess we know where he stands. I guess we know where the whole Democrat Party stands.
I like to be close to the children.
You're listening to The Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
WMAL traffic from the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center. Serious crash in Maryland has called for a medevac helicopter. Route 15 is closed each direction. North of Point of Rocks Bridge, north of Point of Rocks Road. Do not commit in that area. You'll be in that stop traffic. 270 is just about cleared out between Frederick and the Lane Divide. We do have delays on the spur beginning after Old Georgetown Road to get across the American Legion Bridge. Virginia Beltway crash outer loop after 66, now contained to the right shoulder. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
Sunny and pleasant today, high 82. Clear skies overnight, low 60.
Ramon! Ramon!
A used car leader.
Ramon!
Low miles on the lot right now, like a loaded 2016 Lincoln MKX, only $15,999, or a 2020 Acura TLX, beautiful. Low miles, just $27,999. A 2018 Toyota 4Runner, 59,000 miles, would look perfect in your driveway. Hey, the sun is shining at Widget Auto Sales on Out of Washington Street, and see them online at widgetautosales.com. The used car leader.
Meet Chris. National University supports all his ands. With flexible online courses, he can be a student and teach his son how to hit a curveball and serve his country. He's an Ander. National University's 4- and 8-week courses and
Morning, CB.
National University, supporting all your ands. Learn more at nu.edu.
At Grand
CB.
University, we believe in equal opportunity, and the American dream starts with purpose.
Yes, Vader cloned JT sus as fuck. That's how they talk. I've witnessed JT. Even though he blocked me. Oh, I block spam. Hi, JT. JT, you might as well admit it. You got your fucking start in my chat. You guys came to my chat. So I actually helped you out. No need to thank me, though. Now look what's going on. I'm not a spiteful person, but I would have teamed up with Rusty just to fucking piss you off, Wiggin. But there is a spiritual connection. You have no soul. I have a soul. You have no soul, Wiggin. And you're gonna sit there and now you think you're John the Baptist? Wiggin, when did you become a born again Christian? When did you start practicing Christianity? I'd like to know that. I never claimed to be a Christian. I'm not out here pushing the Bible. I'll push morality. The Constitution is morality. Wiggin, you said, your votes don't count. Presidents are installed. I'm Charles Wiggin.
Keeping your pet healthy can feel like a lot sometimes, but PetSmart makes it super simple. They've got food tailored to your pet's needs, supplements so you can stay ahead of and even prescriptions that show up. Here's the hack. Set it all up on auto ship. It just arrives.
That fucking pot is heavy.
35% on your first PetSmart auto ship order, and 5% ones after that. You can stay on top of your pet's healthy routine without stressing. Order what they need and set up auto ship at PetSmart.com.
You don't need a bong with that shit.
Research shows the average person would rather endure a root canal than search for auto and home insurance.
Just try to relax.
Or be trapped in a car for 8 hours with toddlers on a sugar high. Or remove a nest of irate hornets. That's why the Zebra searches for you. Comparing over 100 insurance companies to find savings no one else can. Compare today at thezebra.com. We do the searching, you do the saving. I think I'll wait inside.
Hey, business owners, still hauling tools in a minivan from the Clinton administration? Time to upgrade at Bob Johnson Ford of Pulaski.
Hey, CB.
And passenger transit vans.
Why would you get upset, Will Durant, saying that Billy Hayden is handsome? Uh-huh. No, that might be Gotti right there. I don't know. There's that fucking
making sense of the markets.
that picture came from RG.
Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
I think his name was Romeo too, wasn't it? Romeo G, I forget. Roman or Romeo or whatever he called himself.
They're the left. We should go back to the telephones, talk to the nice American people. Let's go to, let's see.
Empress Chinchilla is into gorillas also.
Philip calling from Centerville, Georgia. Listening on the great
Centerville, Georgia.
Philip, you are on the Chris Plant Show.
Chris, what an honor to talk to you, my friend. Thank you so much for what you do. I greatly appreciate you.
Thank you. Piece of cake, my friend. Wouldn't have it any other way.
You make it sound very simple. I wish I could do what you do. It sounds like you have a lot of fun in your life.
I do. Actually, I do have a lot of fun. We have, what's not fun about what the Democrats are doing to our country?
Chris, I was speaking to Michael. I believe that's your guy who answered the phone, very kind gentleman. I just want people to just slow down just a minute, okay? People are getting worked up in a frenzy, and Democrats need to listen to this. It's very, very simple. I don't make the rules, Chris. I just follow them. You understand? Democrats worship. Now, people go, why do they shoot Charlie? Why do they do this? Because evil does what evil does. Satan is the god of the world. We live in the world, but on the earth. Now, you have a choice to make. You have a choice to choose Jesus Christ, or you have a choice to choose Satan. There's no other choice about it. It's a very simple choice. You either choose one side or the other. There's no other side. Now, nowhere in the Bible does it say, Jesus loves you, kill the little children. It's not even a song that people don't sing. They know Jesus loves the little children, all the children of the world. Jesus does not like lying. He does not like deception. And all that is just the playbook of Satan. And people just need to get a grasp and understand evil does what evil does. Now, to the Democrats, I love you, and I want you to hear me. I love you. After evil is done with you, it's like a fire. When a fire burns a forest, it leaves decay, and it keeps going. All fire does is consume. That's all it does. All evil does is consume. I'll give you an example. The young man that shot Charlie and assassinated Charlie Kirk is sitting in a jail cell right now, and nobody cares about him at all because evil has done what it needed to. It has consumed him. It has now discarded him.
Yeah.
It is moving on further into the Democratic Party.
True. And his poor parents. Good stuff.
Woodbridge, Washington, the Cumulus Media Station. Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9.
WMAL News at 10. Good morning, everyone. I'm John Matthews. We're now in day 6 of the government shutdown, each passing day bringing increasing fear for the worst possible outcome.
Federal workers are on edge as the White House is threatening mass layoffs if the shutdown negotiations are stalled. White House economic advisor Kevin Hassett said yesterday that if negotiations go nowhere, then layoffs will begin. Trump has threatened to use the shutdown to make cuts to Democratic agencies. And when asked about this, Hassett said that this was a negotiating tactic. There's a lot of finger pointing going on here because, as you mentioned, Democratic leaders, they say Republicans refuse to negotiate and address their concerns about extending those healthcare subsidies.
7 News' John Rogers. Not every federal facility in town is down just yet. Tourists and locals flocked to the mall and to the zoo this weekend to beat the Smithsonian shutdown.
That feels really unfair that we have to change our lives because there's some political fighting happening.
I hope they can get it together and figure it out and be adults about it.
7 News reports the museums will close starting this coming Sunday unless there's a deal to reopen the government. Calls for Virginia's Democratic nominee for Attorney General to drop out are growing louder after he wrote that the GOP House Speaker, Republican Todd Gilbert, should be shot in the head.
I actually reached out to Speaker Gilbert to apologize to him and to Jennifer and to their children because what I said was unacceptable.
Jay Jones telling WRIC-TV he regrets the words while Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin insists.
Only satisfactory answer here is out of this race in disgrace. And gosh, I'm sorry is nowhere near sufficient.
Jones is running against current GOP Attorney General Jason Miyares. Barbara Britt, WMAL and WMAL.com.
New this hour, Eleanor Holmes Norton now has more competition for her seat in Congress. D.C. Councilmember Brooke Pinto announced officially today she's running, joining fellow Councilmember Robert White. Pinto says in a statement, quote, "I'm running for Congress to represent D.C. on Capitol Hill to fight for our self-governance, for a fair economy, for public safety, and for our families." Pinto, who is 33, has been on the council since 2020 and would become one of the youngest representatives in the House if she were to win. Norton, who is 88, is already the oldest. After going all year without a homicide, the city of Greenbelt saw 2 of them in 2 days this weekend. Less than 2 miles apart, one on Saturday, the other Sunday.
Kevin Griffey has lived in this complex in the Spring Hill Lake community almost 20 years, and not one more.
By the end of this year, I'm moving.
The gunfire has become all too familiar.
People should be able to go get their groceries. It's a Sunday. There's people who come back from church with their families.
I asked Greenbelt Police if the 2 shootings are connected. A spokesperson said right now they don't believe so.
7 News' Leanna Golden. Checking your money. The Dow is down 260 points at this hour. The NASDAQ is up 88. Up next, traffic and weather on WMAL.
Here at the Zebra, research shows the average person would rather endure a root canal than search for auto and home insurance.
Just try to relax.
Or be trapped in a car for 8 hours with toddlers on a sugar high. Or remove a nest of irate hornets. That's why the Zebra searches for you, comparing over 100 insurance companies to find savings no one else can. Compare today at thezebra.com. We do the searching, you do the saving. I think I'll wait inside.
Ever wish buying a home was as easy as clicking your heels 3 times? At Northern Credit Union, we know there's no place like home. We offer first-time buyer programs with no closing costs, VA, USDA, seasonal, new construction, and many other loan options. If you're dreaming of home ownership, Northern will help you get into your new home in 3 clicks of your heels. Getting approved is quick and easy, and with our meet or beat rate guarantee, you know you're getting the lowest rate possible. Our team is here to help you along the yellow brick road to home ownership with honest advice, personalized service, and support every step of the way. Click your heels, or just call or text, because at Northern, there's no place like home. Northern Credit Union, mortgage magic in the real world. Call or text 315-782-0155 or apply online at mynorthern.com. Federally insured, NCUA, equal housing opportunity.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
WMAL traffic and weather, Steve Hirshorn in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
On Route 15 on the Maryland side of the Point of Rocks Bridge, all lanes are closed in both directions between Point of Rocks Road and Bassford Road because of an ongoing accident cleanup and investigation. Nobody's getting by north or southbound on Route 15, just north of the Point of Rocks Bridge. 66 eastbound, pretty slow still. Fair Oaks to the Beltway outer loop in delays from after Old Georgetown Road to the construction before the George Washington Parkway, blocking one right lane. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
Autumn warmth continues this afternoon with lots of sunshine, high temperatures well into the 80s, mainly clear and chilly overnight. Clouds will increase tomorrow ahead of a cold front. Wet weather arrives tomorrow night into early Wednesday. I'm 7 News meteorologist Steve Rudin in the First Alert Weather Center.
Right now it is 69 at Reagan National. I'm John Matthews. News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Now on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. Chris Plant.
We ought to be talking about the real issue here, which is that we have a healthcare crisis in America caused by the Republicans. They barreled us towards a shutdown because they don't want to deal with that crisis.
Right. The Lizard King telling us that the Republicans are responsible for the government shutdown that Schumer single-handedly created out of selfishness and greed and lust for money because he's a criminal and a lizard, a reptilian. And you see, there's a healthcare crisis in America, as though that's got anything to do with anything. But I thought you guys just turned the world upside down and shook it to create Obamacare in order to save healthcare and make it 5 times more expensive for everyone because your criminal pals are getting rich and buying lake houses and beach houses and airplanes and Bentley convertibles with all of our money because you guys are the third world. And a very good Monday to you, and welcome back once again. We remain at 888-630-9625. 888-630-9625, absolutely toll-free. The government remains shut down. And, the Democrat that wants to be the chief law enforcement officer in Virginia wants to shoot people in the head and when he's done with that, kill their children so they die in the arms of their mothers because that's the Democrat Party. And then they would naturally harvest their organs. But let's get to the government shutdown because that was the Lizard King, Chuck Schumer, saying, well, I'm sorry, what? The Republicans, a healthcare crisis and the Republicans want to shut it down? You shut it down. Why did you do what the Republicans want and shut the government down? You lion Sacagawea, gigantic lion Sacagawea. That he is, the Lizard King with his little lizard tongue. We sent out a tweet last week and posted, I think, on Facebook and elsewhere. Chuck Schumer with his lizardy tongue squirting in and out of his skinny city lips. Just amazing stuff. And we've got the government shutdown still going on at this hour. And the Speaker of the House is out there talking about it. We've got all kinds of stuff going on. Yes, sir, big things going on. But let me get to the government shutdown because it's such a crock. And the Lizard King is just a lion Sacagawea. If he's talking, he's lying. You can tell because his little lizard tongue goes in and out of his mouth real quick, like a lizard, like this, like Tony Montana at poolside. Just amazing stuff. But we've got audio for you that I want to share with you because Senator John Kennedy is always fun to catch up with here and there, because he's not buying Chuck Schumer's crock. And we open there with Chuck Schumer and his crock from the Lion's Sacagawea that he is. And he's like, oh, the Republicans want to create a health care crisis. Why would the government, what was the government shut down for 3 days? And that creates a health care crisis because the government, Sieg Heil, this is all about the left wanting to control health care, because when the government controls health care, the government controls you and your family and your mother and your children. And it's life or death, because they can pull the plug on you. You don't even have to be on life support. They can just pull the plug on you because they own your health care. And that's why the left craves, well, it's about craving power and control. And that's why the left here craves controlling health care, because it gives them, it doesn't look like it. They disguise it as generosity, when in reality, of course, what they're doing is seizing total control over your life and death decisions, and your decisions for your children and your mother and your grandmother and your wife and everybody in your household. And it's total power. Now, why is Schumer talking about health care when we're talking about a couple of days of a government shutdown? Well, because it polls well, and he is a very severe liar. But let me go, because this is what the Democrats want, and we have what the Democrats want. I've got all kinds of amazing stuff for you. These corrupt people, these profoundly, sickeningly corrupt people. But the Democrats demand control. That's what they are all about. Now, over the weekend, watching all kinds of stuff, Senator John Kennedy was out there exposing what the Democrats are demanding with a gun to the head of your baby. And if you're Jay Jones in Virginia, you would shoot and kill the baby so it'd die in its mother's arms. And then they would change their policy positions to the policy positions the Democrats want, because they're not liberals, they're the left. Now, quite extraordinary, the good people at Wall Street Apes over the weekend put out kind of a somewhat comprehensive list. And I think they put it out on Friday. Senator John Kennedy exposing all the things the Democrats are demanding, not requesting, demanding, gun to the head. We put back into the budget to fund before the Democrats will allow the government to reopen. And they call them their demands. Now, Senator Kennedy talked about this. So let's go to, I have the list in front of me, an amazing list, because they're always their sexual psychopaths with their transgender lunacy and circumcising men, presumably men. They might want to female circumcision is something the Democrats might be into now too, in Africa. And we've got to pay through the nose, I tell you, through the nose, forever and ever to fund their mental illnesses. Now, one of the things I looked over the weekend, looking at these ridiculous numbers that the Democrats are demanding, one of the things I looked up is, how much does an average taxpayer in the United States pay in an average year to the federal government? Because this is all very real when we talk about the money. And I found a couple of different items. One of them says that the average taxpayer in America pays about $13,890 a year in federal taxes. $13,000 into the federal coffers, right? So they can spend it. I found another one said it was more like $10,800 a year, less than. But I wanted to start with the bigger number because I'm not cheating. I'm not trying to cheat here. But others say that other analysis says that really it's closer to $10,000, maybe $11,000 a year per person. And the highest end I found was $15,098 a year. But there's a reason that I'm bringing this up, because we're actually paying money. How many Americans work all year long to pay their taxes into the federal coffers so the Democrats can spend it on circumcisions in some beephole country in Africa and for transgender theater in some other beephole country in Africa? The Democrat Party is just membership, and the Democrat Party is a mental illness. Let's go to Senator John Kennedy, who was talking about what the Democrats are doing, holding us hostage, holding us at gunpoint, and then lying on something about health care in the United States when they want transgender surgery to be paid for us by us in deep hole countries around the world. Senator John Kennedy.
Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez got very, very upset, as did the socialist wing of her party, when the president sent over what's called a rescission package. Basically, President Trump just said, we want you to take some stuff out of the budget that we think is wasteful. And we did. And that upset the Congresswoman. She's entitled to be upset if she wants to. But that really upset the socialist wing of the party.
She should be upset as a bartender in New York rather than as a member of Congress, because she's not smart enough to be a bartender, much less a member of Congress. And just amazing stuff. John Kennedy, the wonderful senator, talking about what the Democrats want.
Here's what they want us to put back in. We found that under President Biden, they were spending $3 million for circumcisions and vasectomies in Zambia. We found $500,000 of American taxpayer money for electric buses in Rwanda. We found $3.6 million for pastry cooking classes and dance focus groups for male prostitutes in Haiti. I kid you not. I'm not making this up. It was in the budget. We took it out. Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez in the socialist wing, the loon wing of the Democratic Party, says we're going to shut down government until you put it back in.
So how many Americans will work all year in order to pay their federal taxes into the federal trough so that the Democrats can have us fund pastry cooking and dance for male prostitutes in Haiti, one of the epicenters of HIV/AIDS on the planet Earth, and we're helping male prostitutes with dance because the male prostitutes in Haiti don't dance well enough for the Democrat Party, which is racist. And the Clintons, of course, have staked their claim in Haiti because they want male prostitutes that dance better and make pastry. They want to make pastries in Haiti, but they want male prostitutes in Haiti to make their pastries while they dance. And again, if you've got, let me go to the list here, $4.2 million for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and intersex people in the Western Balkans and Uganda, which is nowhere near the Western Balkans. Pretty amazing stuff. I've spent a certain amount of time in the Balkans and the Western Balkans, and in particular, actually, and I didn't notice a lot of LGBTQIA issues there. And then you throw in Uganda, too, because of the mental illness that is membership in the Democrat Party. $3.6 million for pastry cooking classes and dance focus groups for male prostitutes in Haiti. Now, again, let's just say, to make the math easy, that the average American taxpayer pays $10,000 in taxes to the federal government every year. So how many Americans work all year long, 5 days a week, 50 weeks a year, to pay for male prostitute dance focus groups in Haiti so Democrats can go down there and have sex with dancing male prostitutes in Haiti while eating pastries? Kind of weird. $500,000 for American taxpayers and our money for electric buses in Rwanda. In Rwanda, it's Hotel Rwanda with with all the chop chop, fizz fizz. Sure, $6 million for Lee Majors to become the Bionic Man. No, $6 million for media organizations for Palestinians. $6 million. How many Americans work all year long? 6 million divided by 10,000 all year long for media organizations for the Palestinians to do propaganda against the Jews who they want to exterminate in a genocide. $833,000 for transgender people in Nepal. Turns out there are no transgender people in Nepal, but the Democrat Party is paying lots of our taxpayer dollars for transgender people in Nepal. $300,000. Listen to this. For a pride parade. That's the LGBTQIA pride parade in Lesotho. 300,000. I didn't know a parade could cost so much, but it's in Lesotho. So the Democrats. $882,000 for social media mentorship in Serbia. Serbia. Isn't that great? $3 million for circumcisions, more chop, more sexual, genital, Democrat Party stuff. And I've actually talked to liberals that defended this right in front of me. $3 million for circumcisions and vasectomies in Zambia. Racist vasectomies in Zambia. That's in Africa. Lesotho in Africa. I gotta tell you, the Democrat Party, and they look at you with an LGBTQ face. They can't do it with a straight face. So they look at you with and they say, oh no, this is good. The good use of taxpayer dollars. This is why we're $37 trillion in debt. And it would take more than 1 million years to pay it off. If we were paying it off at $1 per second, it would take more than 1 million years to pay off the national debt. And then and Chuck Schumer is back for more. The Lizard King, and he's angrily biting things and pounding the table. Do you know that the all-new third generation Eden Pure Thunderstorm air purifier has finally arrived? And the third generation builds on the previous generations, the incredible success that they've enjoyed. Thousands and thousands of 5-star reviews, and the latest is even better. The new Thunderstorm uses 2 technologies that studies have shown help to kill up to 99.9% of bacteria and viruses floating in the air that you breathe. It also removes dust and pet dander and smoke and a whole lot more. And it gets rid of any odor, lickety-split, with no filters to have to buy and replace again and again on a schedule. The Eden Pure Thunderstorm will help get rid of any stinky smell guaranteed. Talking about trash cans, kitty litter boxes, cigarette smoke, liberal protesters. No match for the Eden Pure Thunderstorm. The smell will disappear in seconds, too. And right now, because we hang out together, you can save $200 American on an Eden Pure Thunderstorm 3-pack for whole home protection. So put one in your basement, your bedroom, your kitchen, your teenager's room, any place you like to have clean, fresh air. Just go to EdenPureDeals.com and use the discount code Chris3 to save $200 on 3 thunderstorms. That's EdenPureDeals.com. The discount code is Chris and the number 3. Yes, sir. Chris and the number 3. I got a poll on media trust, too, on how much we trust the media. And a great Margaret Thatcher quote from the past about the Democrats today.
There's only one Chris Plant. The Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news.
Ever wish buying a home was as easy as clicking your heels 3 times? At Northern Credit Union, we know there's no place like home. We offer first-time buyer programs with no closing costs, VA, USDA, seasonal, new construction, and many other loan options. If you're dreaming of home ownership, Northern will help you get into your new home in 3 clicks of your heels. Getting approved is quick and easy, and with our meet or beat rate guarantee, you know you're getting the lowest rate possible. Our team is here to help you along the yellow brick road to home ownership with honest advice, personalized service, and support every step of the way. Click your heels or just call or text, because at Northern, there's no place like home. Northern Credit Union. Mortgage magic in the real world. Call or text 315-782-0155 or apply online at mynorthern.com. Federally insured, NCUA, equal housing opportunity.
It's sunshine savings at Widget Auto Sales, the used car leader. Plenty of late model vehicles with low miles on the lot right now, like a loaded 2016 Lincoln MKX, only $15,999, or a 2020 Acura TLX, beautiful, low miles, just $27,999. A 2018 Toyota 4Runner, 59,000 miles, would look perfect in your driveway. Hey, the sun is shining at Widget Auto Sales on out of Washington Street, and see them online at widgetautosales.com, the used car leader.
Have you discussed treatment options with your patients? Talk to them about Dovato, dolutegravir, and lamivudine. Visit the refreshed DovatoHCP.com to learn more today and to access full prescribing information, including boxed warning. This ad is for U.S. healthcare professionals and brought to you by ViiV Healthcare.
Every day, companies you've never heard of are making billions selling your personal information. They scrape your name, addresses, phone numbers, even details about your family, and sell it without your consent. Aura fights back. Aura removes your data from broker sites, keeps it off, and alerts you if your info shows up on the dark web. You also get VPN, antivirus, and a password manager. Start your free trial today at aura.com/listen. Protect yourself now at aura.com/listen.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Check engine, ABS, or maintenance light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. The service is free and provides a report with solutions verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we could recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
It's sunshine savings at Widget Auto Sales, a used car leader. Plenty of late model vehicles with low miles on the lot right now, like a loaded 2016 Lincoln MKX, only $15,999, or a 2020 Acura TLX, beautiful, low miles, just $27,999. A 2018 Toyota 4Runner, 59,000 miles, would look perfect in your driveway. Hey, the sun is shining at Widget Auto Sales on out of Washington Street, and see them online at widgetautosales.com, the used car leader.
Warning, inflation is back on the rise. The national debt is spiraling out of control. The stock market has been at an all-time high, and wars continue to rage across the globe. Experts are predicting a massive economic crash for 2025, and you should be ready. Will you sit on the sidelines and wait, or will you take action today to help protect your hard-earned retirement savings? Right now, you can get a free gold and silver kit from the top-rated precious metals company, Goldco, where you'll learn why tens of thousands of hardworking Americans and even the world's central banks are turning to...
Sorry, Wiggin. Acid Trip's panel is not neutral ground. That's not neutral ground, Wiggin. No. That's look at you fucking cry over there, Acid Trip. I'm not restreaming him, but I am listening to him. You can't hear it. Maybe right now because I turned that off. Acid Trip is not neutral ground. That is not a place for us to meet. You need to come here. I'll come to your chat. I'll come to your panel. How about we restream at the same time? Wiggin. You open your chat up to the same chatters I open my chat up, and we dual stream. You won't do that. So fuck you.
Our team is here to help you along the yellow brick road to home ownership with honest advice, personalized service, and support every step of the way. Click your heels or just call or text, because at Northern, there's no place like home. Northern Credit Union. Mortgage magic in the real world. Call or text 315-782-0155 or apply online at mynorthern.com. Federally insured, NCUA, equal housing opportunity.
WMAL's Vince Colonnese, weekdays at noon on 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
Okay, we have more. We have madness everywhere. Let's go to the phones in the meantime, Michael. Let's go to Carlos, calling from beautiful downtown Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Carlos, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Hi.
Hey, Carlos.
Thank you for taking my call.
Of course.
I want to know. You just said 12 12,000 in tax dollars were taken per average American?
Yes.
Is that like, are you talking about payroll tax or I'm confused? That sounds like a lot of money because 12,000 for middle class is a lot of money, but 12,000 for a billionaire ain't nothing. And you just said 800 million or 8 million was spent for vasectomies or something. That averages out to a penny per American. You know that, right? There's 200 million taxpayers in the United States. So divide every number by 200 million. Half these numbers you're throwing out there ain't nothing. You're talking about 10 cents, 5 cents per American, $1, $2. Do the math, Chris. Do the math.
So you think, Carlos, it's a pretty good bargain?
It's insignificant.
It's insignificant.
No, I'm saying it's insignificant.
Yeah, I know. I know. You've said it repeatedly. So you think we should be paying for dance focus groups in Haiti for male prostitutes?
If it's costing me a penny, it ain't nothing.
So you want to? All right. So who'd you vote for on Election Day, Carlos?
I actually didn't vote. Last time I did vote for Trump, though. I did. Not gonna lie. I voted for Trump, but he's just inept in his job. He can't even spell the right.
Well, Carlos is in for a penny, in for a pound.
This is the Chris Plant Show. WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington. A Cumulus Media Station. Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9. News now.
WMAL News at 10:30. Good morning. I'm John Matthews. The Supreme Court's rejected an appeal from Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein's ex-girlfriend. The Trump administration had urged the high court to stay out of the case. Maxwell's lawyers argue she never should have been tried or convicted for a role in luring teenage girls to be sexually abused by Epstein. A federal judge has temporarily blocked the Trump administration from deploying any National Guard units to Oregon. California and Oregon had sought the temporary restraining order after the president tried to mobilize them Sunday. On Saturday, the same judge temporarily blocked the deployment of Oregon National Guard troops to Portland. Loudoun County emergency managers trying to determine what caused a blast that blew off several manhole covers in northeast Leesburg early Sunday. Fire crews arrived to find smoke in the area and several disheveled manhole covers, but no obvious cause for the blast. No one was hurt. Traffic and weather next.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. And we sell custom blinds, shades, and shutters at low prices. Our blinds are handcrafted to fit your windows, and if they don't, for any reason, we'll remake them for free. Your satisfaction is always guaranteed at Blindster.com.
Steve Hirshhorn in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
On Route 15, on the Maryland side of the Point of Rocks Bridge, still have both north and southbound 15 closed there between Point of Rocks Road and Bassford Road because of an ongoing accident. Investigations to be directed away from that. On the Beltway and the inner loop, very heavy and slow from the Virginia side of the Wilson Bridge to the mobile work crew that's approaching Van Dorn Street, blocking the right lane. Inner loop is also pretty slow from 123 to the construction after the toll road along the right. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
Sunshine today, pleasant with a high of 82. It is 70 at Reagan National. John Matthews, News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
This ad is brought to you by GSK. Have you considered starting Ojjaara momelotinib for your appropriate patients? Review the efficacy of Ojjaara, including data from our head-to-head trials, Simplify-1 and Momentum, at startojjaara.com. That's startojjaara.com.
It's sunshine savings at Widget Auto Sales, the used car leader. Plenty of late model vehicles with low miles on the lot right now, like a loaded 2016 Lincoln MKX, only $15,999, or a 2020 Acura TLX, beautiful, low miles, just $27,999. A 2018 Toyota 4Runner, 59,000 miles, would look perfect in your driveway. Hey, the sun is shining at Widget Auto Sales on out of Washington Street, and see them online at widgetautosales.com, the used car leader.
It's 4:07 a.m. Birds are starting to chirp. And while most people are still counting sheep, you count stock gains, inflation ticks, and quarterly earnings. Because getting ahead in business takes stubborn curiosity and a refusal to log off before the dots connect. The details most skim past, you read twice. Because when the world wakes up, you want to be 2 steps ahead. Get ahead with WSJ Plus, offering insights from the Wall Street Journal, Barron's, MarketWatch, and Investors Business Daily. Because fortune favors the ambitious.
Thank you for calling Spectrum. My name is Angie, and I'm in Orlando, Florida. How can I help you today?
Great. You're still there.
It must be like 3 a.m.
We're always here 24/7. What can I do for you?
I know it's late, but I wanted to ask you about the best place to set up my router.
It's never too late. We'll have you up and running in no time.
Only Spectrum has 24/7, 100% US-based customer support. It's only everything. Spectrum fiber-powered internet. It's the fastest and most reliable internet. Go to spectrum.com to learn more.
Ever wish buying a home was as easy as clicking your heels 3 times? At Northern Credit Union, we know there's no place like home. We offer first-time buyer programs with no closing costs, VA, USDA, seasonal, new construction, and many other loan options. If you're dreaming of home ownership, Northern will help you get into your new home in 3 clicks of your heels. Getting approved is quick and easy, and with our meet or beat rate guarantee, you know you're getting the lowest rate possible. Our team is here to help you along the yellow brick road to home ownership with honest advice, personalized service, and support every step of the way. Click your heels, or just call or text, because at Northern, there's no place like home. Northern Credit Union, mortgage magic in the real world. Call or text 315-782-0155.
I hate to do this, but I have to go. I have a couple things I need to go do, so I'm leaving.
Because elections have consequences. Download the WMA
Very, very shortly.
for free.
I don't really want to, but I'm right in the middle of doing something, but I have to go because my ride's going to be here because I have an appointment in about half hour. I have to be somewhere. It's here shortly. So, CB, thanks for coming over. I'm going to leave them fuckers hanging. They'll be talking about me the rest of. I don't know what time I'll be back. It might not be back till 6 o'clock. I have an appointment. I have to go do something.
And they're always demanding. They're never requesting. It's always
So,
a threat, a gun to the head. And Senator John E. Kennedy is a no-nonsense kind of guy. That's clean talk on the radio.